Okay, so today is the 7th of August. We turned the air conditioning down just a little bit here and really quickly addressing some of the issues with Meredith Mapes. Uh, she worked with the Iditarod last year, was out there on the trail doing some reporting. Young washer, Alaskan, grew up with the mushroom community there in the Connect Goose Bay Road, and is not someone who I am trying to harass in any shape or form, not someone who I think is a bad person, not someone who I know. And however, she began publicly fundraising online to her personal Patreon with regards to raising money, and she was already doing this to get money for her iditarod efforts, for her rent, for her expenses, for her race, which is not something that I have a problem with or issue with. Prior to the attempt to purchase the sled dog team, which was a group of dogs up in the village or something, advertised on Fairbanks Sporting Goods with equipment, with sleds, etc. And the purchase price was like $1,500. There was also a truck for sale. There were sleds and stuff that was going with that $1,500, very affordable. And my observation was it's like flipping a house or flipping a car the way she was going about it. She was trying to raise money online, linking to the Ugly Dogs hashtag, which is the Quincy Mountain, which is the Blair Braverman. So in a way, sort of getting in on someone else's fan base, and I think that was sort of bothering them, and they sort of spoke out about it. And then I began to look at it, and I see what was going on, and my issue is, though, she's fundraising for so much more than that purchase price for those dogs, and she's linking to this August Fund, which is a nonprofit organization that deals with elderly, retired veteran sled dogs, and the group of dogs that she's picking up is not necessarily, there are a lot of young dogs in there, so it's sort of contrary to the mission of the August Fund. And also, she did not rescue these dogs. She purchased them, and she tried to raise money. She raised like way over $1,500 to go get these dogs. So the problem is, people are donating. She's appealing to their emotions. She's linking to the August Fund. The reality is, this money is not going to the August Fund. Meredith is not, to my knowledge, an employee of the August Fund, which works with those retired sled dogs and rehomes them, the veteran dogs. Great organization is my impression, a noble organization, and a lot of kennels can do that stuff themselves, so they don't need to engage an organization like that. But the problem is, you're donating to Meredith. She's appealing to the emotion. She's linked to this. She's purchasing these dogs, not rescuing them, and it's like flipping. She's going to go through them, and she's getting all this equipment, and it's sort of unethical because these are young, healthy, working dogs, and they should have a working home. And why do they have to go to her? And she's referring to it as like a big spay neuter thing, and then she's going to try to find them homes and stuff. And she says, I'm going to list them on the August Fund website. Well, the August Fund, the mission of that organization is to deal with the older veteran dogs. Why would they be listed on their website if the dogs are physically not going to the August Fund? Number one, I just wrote the August Fund asking this stuff. And number two, why is Meredith enabled to fundraise to buy these young dogs just to put them on the August Fund? It doesn't make any sense. If she's fundraising to buy a team and she's going to keep the dogs and work with them and run them and maybe sell some of them and that kind of thing, but she should be doing that separate from the August Fund. This is my point and my issue, if that makes sense. And I wrote a letter to the August Fund. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here really quickly. And okay, letter to the August Fund. Let's just see if I can do this, and maybe I should just read this letter. But yeah, well, I think I just kind of I said it. I just said it, but I was just a couple of other things I wanted to mention were, I don't know, it's just here, yeah, the mission of that organization, the August Fund, is not, and then it's like, why are they working with her over other mushers? So are they going to just enable any musher just to buy a different kennel and then go through the dogs, and then the ones they don't like after they purchase them, list them on the August Fund? You know what I mean? Like young dogs. That's not an ethical and way of doing things that is aligned with just basic decency in the mushing community. You know what I mean? So if Meredith is going to want to rehome some of the dogs she purchases, she should be doing that. That's her responsibility. That's not the August Fund's responsibility. Those dogs, young, healthy, do not fit the demographic which the dogs that the August Fund's working with, and it's the dogs physically are not going to the August Fund. So in the August Fund shouldn't be listing dogs if they're not physically with the August Fund. Now, if Meredith Mapes should not be enabled to fundraise linking to the August Fund, you know what I mean, to buy a dog team for her own personal use, and if she's doing that sort of fundraising, and the money's going to her and not the August Fund, then this is the problem. And like I suggested online, it's like if Meredith is doing this, all of that equipment, those sleds, they should be raffled off. They shouldn't be going to her, and then she can raffle them off and give the proceeds from that, to the August Fund. Because I'm sure it's doing good work. But a young, healthy dog team, group of dogs, they shouldn't be getting dumped on the August Fund. The way Meredith is doing it, it's just so clearly wrong. It's just like someone flipping a car, buying a car that's cheap and, trying to fix it up or whatever, or mislead it, and then trying to sell it for more than you bought it for. Exactly. And that's what she did with her fundraising. She $1,500. She said, I'm going to need so much more. I'm going to drive up there. I'm rescuing these dogs. She purchased them. She didn't rescue them. I hope that makes it clear, and I'm going to link in the thing I will post the letter that I wrote to the August Fund in the description of this video.